Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Spitball Media podcast. We're just spitting out the top entertainment stories for you each and every week. My name is John Draper. Shah, happy weekly Spitball Media podcast to you.
Thank you, sir. I think we might have run out of spit this evening because we got so much shit to talk about. We might run out of spit.
Yeah, we definitely might run out of
We'll
spit.
just be balls. We'll just be balls deep.
Yeah, we'll have to get some lubricant. And of course, B-Show Brian's got a white t-shirt on, so that means there's some serious business happening.
In my white tee. You guys remember that song from like 2003?
Yeah, I hate that fucking song.
Who
I
sang
hate
that?
that whole era of hip hop. That era of hip hop needs to
Who
die.
sang that?
The Franchise Boys.
The Franchise Boys? That sounds like a bad ECW gimmick.
My wife used to listen to that shit all the time. Used to drive me crazy.
I've never heard of it. I don't know. 2003?
Something like that.
Oh, wow.
Probably like
okay.
2007-ish.
2007.
2006,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have to check it out. For those of you checking us out for the first time, again, we spit out the top entertainment stories covering the landscape each and every week. We talk movies, we talk streaming, we talk entertainment rumors, upcoming releases, but you don't get the full show. You get an abridged version. And then afterwards, all of our friends over at patreon.com/Spitball Media. Is that right, B-Show, or Spitball Media Podcast?
Spitball Media.
Spitball Media, they get a whole extra show. They get literally like a half show each and every week. Right, Shah? I mean, what an affordable premium program package for $5 a month.
Absolutely, man. Way more affordable than anything else that's streaming right now. What, Netflix is like 15 now or some shit? Like Hulu's going, everything's going up but us.
Yeah.
We're going down.
B-Show, we're staying ahead of the inflation curve.
We are. We're going down dry this week. Is that what it is? We're dry. We got no spit. We're
Dry.
still going down.
Yeah, we're still going down.
But at least it's only $5 a month, so it's not a not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
I mean, everything is going up. My wife and I were talking about it tonight. She's like, "Did Disney go up?" I said, "Yeah, Netflix and Disney and everybody."
My phone bill just went up $16. I don't know why. I have to look at it. I haven't had time to argue and figure this shit out.
Because
but for those
they
of you
can,
check this
John.
out, what's that?
Because they can.
Well,
Dude,
yeah, that's literally what it is.
My association fee used to be $100 a year ago. It's $170 now.
Wow, that's
How
a
the
big
fuck
increase.
did it almost double in a year?
Scary. But what's not scary is the $5 a month. There is literally, I have no idea how many hundreds of hours of exclusive content you can get there. Plus bonus shows. We're having some fun ones this month. I'm going to be doing a little Halloween memory lane recap. I'm going to be doing a little episode I call I Remember Halloween. I'm going to be talking about the old school Brooklyn Halloweens. They involve shaving cream, eggs, petty crime, probably light sexual assault. You don't want to miss it, B-Show. It's going to be outrageous.
It's fun for the whole family. No, I would like
Yes.
to, because like Brooklyn has its own aesthetic, and just thinking about like, I would like to see a horror movie set in Brooklyn on Halloween, because like
Early 80s.
Scream, like Scream 6 tried, but they shot it in like fucking Vancouver or some shit, and you could tell it wasn't New York. So no, that'd be cool with like the what are they called, brownstone buildings and the fucking Cosby
I
style
couldn't afford
houses.
to
and
live
shit.
in any of those, but I'm sure those were great. But yeah, I'm going to be getting it out at some point this week, and of course, all this month we're going to be giving you guys tons of recommendations, which we'll get to in a little bit. But we really wanted to kick off the show, and again, go to patreon.com/Spitball Media, and thank you to the many Patreon people who contribute each and every month. You guys gave us a great Q&A as usual that we put together a little late for you in the game, but we hope you enjoyed it. Have to take a moment here to give notice of a friend, someone we all knew through the podcasting world, in particular the wrestling world. Our friend known as Papa Dave Sincere. He's passed away this week. We got word, I guess, earlier in the week. I had heard he was quite sick. Someone had sent me something from a member of his family. Papa Dave was a super supportive guy of many different ventures on social media. He really was, and he was just a wonderful dude. Shah, I know you remember Papa Dave, of course.
Yeah, he used to be in our chat room all the time when I did the hot tag. He'd be in there. I think he did a show with Michael Smith and
the
Florida dude. Who was his name? The Florida guy?
Oh, geez. Oh, my God. He's
Johnny
Florida.
Florida.
Johnny Florida. Yeah. And I think maybe some other people, I think, had a hand in that as well, right? If I'm not mistaken, right, B-Show? Some other people.
Didn't they do like the soup after party after wrestling soup?
WNC. Yeah, they would do it the after show. Papa Dave, super supportive guy for years and years and years. I know, B-Show, you're familiar with Papa Dave too, like like many of us in the chat are and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that like everyone says good stuff about. Just seemed like a really good guy. Um, I remember him being super supportive of a lot of people. I didn't know him personally. I just ran across him back when I used to hang out in the chat room listening to you guys. But it's really sad. I know he was like the elder statesman of that
Yeah,
crew.
yeah, he
So,
was. He
hopefully
was.
he's, his family's doing all right, but it's just fucking heartbreaking, man. We're at that age now where our friends are starting to go, and it seems like he was a really nice guy. So terrible to
Yeah,
hear
he
that
was a
happened to
super
him.
nice guy, very supportive dude, right, Shah? Like he was just like a dude who like supported like people he thought were cool.
Yeah, I actually, when people pass away, I have this thing where I go my messages and like read the last message they kind of sent me.
Uh,
And the last message he had sent me was when I quit my job at Starbucks as a manager to approach
oh my
graphic
God.
design. And he was like, I actually I can pull it up and probably read it by
Wow.
But yeah, he also
I
did a
remember
show
that.
with Yuck Nasty. He did a show with
Yeah.
Bobby Anthem.
Yep.
Yeah, this was his last message. He sent a Happy New Year one, but before that, he said, "Well, brother, I don't know much from much. That sounds very cool and very noble. Young man, you have my good wishes and good luck." So he was very supportive, man. He was a very nice guy. So I hope he definitely missed. Rest in peace, Papa Dave.
He'll definitely be missed, and of course to his close friends and family, much love and respect there. I know a lot of people in the chat, they're already talking about him right there. I know Dirk's in the chat. Mad Mex, what's up? Mr. Isaacs is in there. Joe Punches, Aaron Echoes. Very cool guy. It's very sad. This is the second person in the last couple of weeks that's passed away that was connected to the show and connected to us. And of course, Chris Matthews is saying, he didn't know him, but of course, his best to his friends and family. Of course, our friends in the Bayou Geeks, we just sad. I had heard he was sick, and it was the GoFundMe got started there, and just much love to the memory of Papa Dave. They don't have a lot of good, cool people like that on the internet these days, huh, B-Show?
Not at all. In fact, watching people on the internet the past 2 or 3 days is like I was starting to like regain some semblance of faith in humanity, and now I'm completely nihilistic to it. So,
oh yeah,
and especially what timing too? You got all this terrible shit that people are wanting to fight about.
Yeah,
every 5
it's just
seconds,
awful.
And then Papa
it's
Dave,
an awful
one of the
time
bright
to be
spots,
alive.
is gone.
But the shout out, of course, to my good buddy Marquise is in there, and like I said, Papa Dave, we all had a good connection to him in some way or another, and there's not a lot of good guys like that out there. So rest in peace to Big Papa Dave Sincere, and much love and respect to his family.
And
now,
I don't mean to cut you off, but we can put up a link. I think we already put it up on Twitter and on the Facebook page.
Let's put it in the
Facebook.com/
Patreon if we can today.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll drop the link in there. There's a GoFundMe that his daughter set up. So if you
I haven't spoken to anybody in the family, but I know his daughter put this up a while ago. But we'll put it up in the chat here, but we'll also put it up on the Patreon. Now listen, I'm just going to be frank with you guys. We got a shit ton of stuff that's been happening in the entertainment landscape, but because it is Halloween, and of course Aaron's pouring one out for Papa Dave, because it is Halloween season, we're going to hit you guys up with our recommendations in the free portion of the show. I want to start with B-Show Brian. I think we all might have 2 or 3 this week. B-Show, can you drop your first recommendation?
Yeah. I forgot to pull it up, so I got them right here.
That's okay, buddy.
So for my first recommendation, I went with something. I just rewatched it the other night, and I didn't want to go with the same, we've talked about horror movies that aren't on the nose. And I don't know if this one's even considered a horror movie, although it walks the line. It's just a fun movie, and a different take on technically a classic horror novel, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So not technically a horror movie, even though it does have some horrific elements to it. And it's Frankenstein's always associated with the Universal monsters, but Kenneth Branagh's version from like 1996, I'll be honest with you, it's a little dramatic. It's a little over the
De Niro
top.
one?
Yes.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yes. The set pieces are very garish. It's set in Ingolstadt in like the 1700s, and it's set in Switzerland, in Geneva, and like there's these big giant castles. It's not like Gothic like the old Frankenstein shit. It's like these rich upper crust people, and this guy's obsessed with protecting people from death, and he gets so committed and so like into his own insanity that he creates an abomination, and it lays waste to his entire family. Kenneth Branagh is really good. It's a little dizzying because the direction and cinematography is all over the place.
Yeah, I remember.
It's really electric, and
What
there's
year
some
is
really.
that B show? I'm sorry.
It was either 95 or 96, I think.
Yeah, who's the female lead in that?
Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
And then
good.
who's the guy who played the robot android in Alien?
Pauly Shore, I believe you're thinking of.
Anyway, there's a good cast. The guy who played Beethoven and Amadeus
Mandy
is
the
in it.
Pampkin? Are you talking about an Alien Nation?
No, the Alien movie.
Oh, the Alien movie?
Ian Holm.
Lance Henriksen?
I don't know if I find it. I think it's Ian Holm.
Shout out to Chuck and Felix Ortiz in there and Slave Cheeks.
I can't find the cast.
That's okay.
But anyway, it's Ian Holm.
I know that name. Okay, yeah, I know
Ian
that
Holm.
name.
So
okay,
he
it wasn't
plays
Pauly Shore.
No, he plays Henry Frankenstein's dad. It's just really good cast. It's very over the top, like operatic, almost like stage
Very
acting.
British, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. But it's really good. The monster looks okay in some scenes.
Yeah,
I really like the chamber scene when he sets up all the electric shit, and like I don't know. If you haven't seen it, it's just a much different take on Frankenstein. And the one person I'm forgetting, John Cleese is in it as the one who kind of leads Henry into the whole alchemy type of thing.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, John Cleese, great voice. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a cool pick, man.
It's just something
Shah?
different, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Shah, what is your pick? What is one of your picks there for a Halloween recommendation?
Bisho, can you pull this one up so people can see some screenshots of it? It's called Excision, and it features John Waters and Malcolm McDowell, which is like
what an odd movie.
Blows your mind.
What year is this movie?
Oh, it's a newer movie.
Oh, it's a newer movie?
It's from the 2000s, yeah.
Okay.
So it's about a girl. It's almost like a coming of age film about a girl finding her sexuality and stuff.
Who's the broad?
I don't know. But she has an obsession with blood. And she wants to lose her virginity on her period. And I don't want to spoil the end, but it'll fuck you up.
I have to see this.
It's somewhat body horror, but also like comedy.
Oh my god!
I fucking love this movie.
Wow!
And no one mentions this movie. Like, I mean, John is a huge horror fan. He doesn't even know this movie.
I never heard of it. Kevin Castle's in the house. Say what's up to him.
And no one knows this movie.
Nibrock is in the house.
Dude, John Waters and Malcolm McDowell. I mean, what else can you ask for?
I want to know who the girl is.
I don't know. It's so good though. Check it out.
This is wild.
What a little baby fetus.
Wow. Okay, who's the girl? Oh, I thought that was her. Yeah, Anna Lynn McCord. She was from the 90210 reboot, and she's in a pretty cool fucked up movie.
Probably
I can't think of the name of it. Not this. She was the daughter in Nip Tuck. A lot of people know her from that. Oh, the 62 kill or 68 kill. That's a fucking
it's from 2012, so it's not even that old.
Yeah, Anna Lynn McCord. Not unattractive, Bisha.
Not at all. In fact, I think she even has almost I was going to say an Aunt Taylor-Joy vibe, but that's not accurate at all.
Yeah, no, she's very tall and lanky. I like this girl. I got to check this movie out.
She looks like the type of woman that would show up and watch Barbie for like 4 or 5 weekends in a row, decked out all.
68 Kill is very good. A lot of people like that movie. Cute girl. I haven't seen her in a bit, but this movie's a long time ago.
11 years ago is not too long.
Yeah, not bad. I got a hot pick. I really like this movie a lot. It's actually directed by the guy who did The Strangers. I think it's Robert Bertino. Somebody recommended this to me a bunch of years ago. And Aaron, you're right. She does look like a little Margot Robbie-ish. Like she's a little Walmart Margot Robbie. This is a movie in 2016 called The Monster. Have either one of you heard of this movie?
Yeah, that's an A24 movie, sir.
It's fucking great. Zoe Kazan, got a little crush on Zoe Kazan. She's a kind of little hipster Brooklyn girl. She's married, I think, to Paul Dano. This is a phenomenal understated horror movie.
I think that was the first.
I don't want to give too much about it. What's that?
I think that was our first horror movie. That was A24's
yeah,
first horror movie.
Yeah, I think it was too. The majority of this movie, she is trapped in a car with her young, like preteen, teenage daughter, because they hit something that they think is an animal in a rainstorm. And spoiler alert, B-Show, it's not an animal.
Would it be a monster, John?
It would, in fact, be a monster. I really, really like this movie, guys. Shah, you said you've seen it?
I saw it, but I fell asleep during it. I still own the DVD, though. They never put it out on Blu-ray, but I still have the DVD.
Yeah, I highly recommend this. It gets good. Look at that. Look, it does not look great.
It's not your typical A24 type of movie. Was there
Not
early
really.
days? Yeah.
Yeah, and she's not your typical horror girl. She plays like a very young mom. Um, I have a little bit of a crush on her. She's a very cute girl.
That's a good comparison too. Rawhead Rex, yeah.
Very good comparison to Rawhead Rex. Excellent, Aaron. Aaron's on point with that. Bisho, I think you'd like this movie. It builds up a lot of tension. The monster looks good. There's brutality in the kill scenes, and the ending is bleak as fuck.
Nice. Are they trapped in the car at any point for an extended period of time?
90% of the movie, they're in the car.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I love that shit.
And you can't see shit. I mean, it's so good. It's a great scary, and I love monster movies. I'm really kind of coalescing around my monster movie fetish right now for Halloween. Bisho, bang out another recommendation for the people.
All right, this is one that it's, I don't want to say it's a creature feature necessarily, because it's not. It's hard to define. But Harrison Smith directed a movie called The Special a couple years ago. And I don't know of anybody else who's seen this other than me. But basically, this guy goes to a shady brothel and he asks for the special. And it's this little box.
I've heard of this. You should maybe watch the trailer for this.
Oh, that's right. And basically, he sticks his dick in the box, and it's the best fucking orgasm he's ever had. And he becomes obsessed with it. So he's like trying to sneak the goo out, and he ends up like stealing the box and taking it home. But it's like a body horror movie and almost a Twilight Zone-y type of twist on it.
Where is this streaming, by the way?
Let me see.
On the Playboy channel?
Tubi.
Oh wow, guys, you can watch this for free.
Of course,
yeah. Because then he tries to use he tries to use the shit to jerk off, and then he uses it to lubricate to fuck his wife or girlfriend, and it's
what?
Yeah, it's very grody, but it's also, like I said, body horror. Like, as you can tell here, it's not good for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I got to check this out.
I don't want to give it away. It's not the greatest movie I ever saw, but Harrison Smith.
The premise sounds amazing, right? Right, Shah? I mean, who comes up with a premise like this?
Yes, especially since it's a newer movie too. I like the fact that these newer films are going back to like the H.P. Lovecraft, type of thing. So
yeah.
I like this. I'll check this out. Okay. Never heard of it.
Tagline is Fatal Attraction meets The Blob, and I think that pretty much sums it
up.
Oh,
excellent! Two great cross features there. Shah, what's your second recommendation?
Evil Ed. Have either of you heard of that?
Yes, I've heard of Evil Ed. It's been on my radar for a long time.
So fucking good. It is so
many
good.
people have recommended this to me. Not
Dude,
to
you
be
gotta check it out
with the character in Fright Night, of course.
No. You got to check this out. Arrow Video put this out. That's how I discovered it. I just blind bought it because of the poster. I looked at it and I was like, "Holy shit, that looks crazy! I need to own this." And it's basically about a guy that's cutting films and editing them down. It's about censorship in horror films. Jeez. And I don't want to spoil anything, but there's tons of cool fucking monsters. I mean, it's like a creature feature, But yeah, look at this.
Oh wow, look at that shit. Is this American or is this a European movie?
I think it's European because I think that's why
it just looks like it's not made in America.
Well, I think that's why it revolved around censorship because of what was happening with like the Grindhouse movies in the
UK. Which there's been a more recent version of this, a great film that came out a couple of years ago.
Oh, Sweden. 97.
Okay, look at that. 1997. Okay.
I actually thought it was older. I thought it was from the 80s.
And where is this streaming? Do we know?
Probably Tubi.
Of
course.
Wow, guys. And Amazon Prime has it if you have premium there.
Can you look up Excision? People really should check that out. I want to see if that's streaming anywhere.
Yeah, that I feel like I need to check out.
Dude, please. Tubi.
Oh my God. Well, it's like a lot of people going to Tubi this week.
Yeah. And folks, don't forget Tubi's free, so you don't have to pay for anything. You can just watch
a lot of cool shit on the Tubester. Yeah, Shah, this looks interesting. This has been on my radar for a long time. A lot of people recommend this, and
you'd like it a lot.
Bisho, have you heard of it? The name definitely sounds familiar.
Yes, I've never seen it, but when I was a little kid before I started watching horror movies, I remember walking through my local video store and seeing it was the cover with the axe in the head with the two, like the split sides of his head open.
Yep. Yeah,
never seen
that up before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and for anyone wondering, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein streaming on Paramount, Hulu, and I believe I saw it on HBO Max the other night.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Wow, these are good recommendations. Bisho, can you grab your second recommendation for the people?
This will actually be my third. I just gave.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I got to give mine. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Mine is an artistic movie. I've talked about these two guys before. I think their names are Benson and Moorhead. They make very trippy, horror films that are like psychological. They also did some of the Moon Knight series. They were able to write. I think they might have written some of the Moon Knight series or directed it. I think they're known as Benson and Moorhead. This is 2017's The Endless. Oh, do I love this fucking movie. Oh my fucking God. Do I love this movie. This Shah is up your alley. It's a cult. They're in a death cult that they escaped that they go back to. It's a death cult that's tied to aliens. And they left the cult and everybody there died. And they go back and they find that everybody all these years later is the same age. And you don't know why all of these people are in fact the same age, the cult that they left when they were children. Now, this also ties to one of their other movies in an ancillary way. I don't want to give away too much of the plot, but I have been big on these guys for a while. I've seen a bunch of their movies. They write and direct the films and they star in them. The Resolution is the precursor to this. I think The Endless is 2017. I'm almost positive they came out one right after
2018. I think it says
2018. You don't need to look at this thing with the rope. If you watch this trailer, you're going to watch this movie. I'll tell you that, both of you. Their acting's not the best. What's that?
I'm a big fan of the movie. I've seen it many times.
You saw this one?
Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen Synchronic and the other one.
And a Resolution?
Yeah.
We
talked about this on the show. We had a whole thing about it.
Well, I talked about them, but this one I feel like is my favorite of all of them, Shah, because I love the thing with the
Yeah, I agree.
I love the cult. It's so weird. Like, honestly, like this is probably my favorite one. Better than Synchronic is a high budget. It's more of a bigger budget. But Bisha, you got to get on these guys, man. They're no joke.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
They're the dudes that they're doing a Marvel series, I think.
Moon Knight. They did Moon Knight. Made Moon Knight very trippy. Benson and Moorhead. I think it's Benson and Moorhead. That's how they're known, as Benson and Moorhead.
These three are all bangers. So Synchronic was dope too. He's right. This is my favorite one.
This is the best one, Shah.
The scene is
so good.
The scene with the rope is fucking crazy. I mean, they give it away. They give it away in the trailer, but I mean, it's pretty wild.
Bisho, this is a bleak, deep, smart movie. Like these guys are on another level. These guys are like on an Ari Aster level, don't you think, Shah?
It's I think they got that scene from Bruce Almighty. Actually, do you remember that?
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Which one with the rope?
Yeah,
I don't even remember that.
Same thing in Bruce Almighty. Bruce Almighty brings the moon closer to him with the rope.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's a little bit. It's a deep story, but Shah, did you see that they tied in Resolution with this?
Yeah,
that was incredible. Yeah. Incredible.
I didn't like Resolution as much though. Endless is a banger though. Endless was like a
banger. Resolution has very bad acting. I think that's the problem. And Synchronic has like great actors in it. So those are, and Shah, they have a recent movie I haven't checked out a couple years ago, but I love these guys. You got to check it out. Chris Matthews is throwing Event Horizon out there. That's a big cult movie at this point.
Banger, yeah.
Yeah. B, did everybody give their 3? I'm so sorry.
Nope. I think we all got one more.
Yeah, we got one more.
Oh, go ahead. Who's up next on this? B, you're up next, right?
I am. This one I watched on Shudder about 6 months ago. It's called Hell Night. Basically, these college kids. Linda Blair's in it.
Oh, it's great.
These college kids stay the night.
Kevin's a fan of this movie. Kevin Cass.
Is he? All right, cool. They stay the night in this big mansion. It's these college kids on, I think it's Halloween. And there's this like murderous family that still lives there, almost like Texas Chainsaw style, or maybe even closer to The Hills Have Eyes. And they're just hunting them down one by one. There's like this weird, almost maze type of thing in the basement and almost a hedge maze outside. And they get out and then they got to go back in to get someone. It's just perfect 80s. It's not too cheesy. It's cheesy enough, but it's not
She's
too
pretty
cheesy.
Cute in this too, isn't she?
Linda Blair?
Yeah, she's pretty cute in the movie.
She's got like, I was confused her with Fleetwood Mac. What's her name?
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, they have a similar look.
Yeah. I think it's the dimples, But I like
kind of round face and brown eyes. Yeah.
Shah, did they remake this?
I'm not sure. I actually just recently watched this. I'd never seen it before.
81, guys. 81.
Yeah. It's hard to beat 81 and 82 with those old horror movies, man.
Yeah, and you got away with a lot more too. You had titties, you got beheadings and shit. You got all that shit.
Streaming on Tubi and Peacock. There you go.
Good Lord. And there's a Van Patten in it, no less. Okay, that's a hot pick, B-Show, coming in hot. Shah, what's your third pick for the week?
My third one is a 1979 movie called, I think you probably know this one. It's called Don't Go in the House.
Don't Go in the
Do you know this one? Dude, this is it's
know
a video nasty. It's like a legendary video nasty. It's about a boy that gets burned by his mother as she burns his arms. And
oh my God.
For the rest of his life, until the end of the movie, he basically lures women into his house and burns them alive.
Oh, I've never seen this.
Oh my God,
this
Kevin
movie,
Castle's all over it. He's like, yep, love it.
Dude, this movie is a fucking
79
banger.
If you're gonna,
oh man, if you guys haven't seen this, you guys need to see this. Like, tonight.
I gotta watch this.
Dude, it's on Tubi. Watch it. It's free. It's so good.
And it's one of the classic nasties from
the
UK.
Yeah, it's one of the video nasties. Yeah, it's one of the notorious video nasties. Hell yeah.
Bisho, have you heard of this? I love it though.
Brutal.
Look at him. Look at that.
They show the women burning and stuff too, man. If you,
Shah,
I mean, later on,
T-shirt with the fucking logo and shit.
Yeah, later on, maybe we can watch the trailer on the Patreon portion, so you guys can see what it looks like. But
guys, that T-shirt is dope.
Banger, yeah.
So he brings women to the house to burn them alive.
Jeez, it's a wild movie, man.
That looks like out of Maniac. That reminds me of the end of Maniac.
Oh, wow. Kevin Castle.
Has anybody in the chat room seen it? Don't go in the house.
Kevin's seen it.
Okay, yeah.
Kev said the star of this movie that Shah's talking about was on The Sopranos as a regular. Who is that?
Let's pull up. Oh, I got to see who that is. Is it James Gandolfini?
You need to see this ASAP, man. This and Excision, you guys both I think both of you would love
I've heard of Excision. I just remember when it came out. Let's see. Bill Reese? Let me see. You're just going off the Italian names, B-Show. Yeah, he was. This guy was a regular on Sopranos.
Yeah, there you go.
He played actually two characters. He played his own twin brother on Sopranos. Wow, Dan Grimaldi? That's wild. Wow, Marquise is right. Tubi's looking like the GOAT right now. And Aaron Echoes is saying Perfect Blue. That's like the Black Swan ripped off Perfect Blue. Damn, we're bringing out bangers this week. Holy shit. God damn. Okay. B-Show, do you have yours? Oh, you're done. You got your 3.
That's me. I have my 3. It was
okay. This is mine. Now, this movie I saw in theaters. We went 79, 81, and I'm going 87. This is a great fucking movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It stars Martin Sheen and in the title role. It's called The Believers, and it is a cult movie. It takes place in Manhattan. Have you guys ever seen this movie?
No, I've never seen this one.
Oh, it's a good one, man. He's brought in to investigate. He's an investigator, like a psychologist, who's working in a death cult Shah in Manhattan.
Oh, I would love this.
Oh, it's fucking phenomenal. Underrated movie, Kevin Castle saying. 1987. That's the main antagonist there, doing some kind of like version. I think of, I don't know if it's supposed to be hoodoo. It's a long time ago. I saw this on a date in like 10th grade, and dude. This is an intense cult movie. It's shot in Manhattan mostly. It has that old school 80s backdrop of New York City. B-Show.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, you guys would love this. It's like it crosses a lot of barriers, but it is a cult movie about cults. I wonder who directed this. I thought it might be somebody famous. And it has a young what's his face from TV actor. What's his face in there? Jimmy Smits. Robert Loggia, who's also from Sopranos.
Tubi with the W again.
Wow. I guess we know what everybody can watch. Wow. Unreal. But neither one of you have heard of this movie or seen it?
No.
John Schlesinger.
No, I'm going to check this out ASAP, though. This seems like my type of movie.
Yeah, the guy who directed Midnight Cowboy directed this movie.
Marathon Man, too.
And Marathon Man.
Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's a grimy New York in the mid 80s still had that Times Square grimy, which is a good backdrop of it. Martin Sheen's son is like abducted and shit. He's like a single dad or some shit like that. And this dude is like doing like all this like hoodoo shit, and like people are, look at this. It's fucking, and everybody's in the cult shot. It's like, it's crazy, dude. It's an underground cult in Manhattan.
I mean, I like Midnight Cowboy and Marathon Man.
Yeah,
I love both of those movies. So.
I just watched that not that long ago. But boy, we gave them something to talk about, didn't we, B?
Oh, yeah.
9 great movies, I think 8 of which are on Tubi. So go check them out, man.
The Endless might be on Tubi too. Can we just verify that? I just wanted to, because we recommended it.
Yeah.
I just want to see.
No, it's on YouTube. Oh, yeah, it is. There you go.
It's on Tubi. So
Damn.
We just gave you 9 Tubi movies from different genres, different centuries, literally.
I think we should actually do that next week and moving forward until Halloween. Only give movies that they can watch on Tubi, so that if you literally have nothing.
Well, some people have a lot of streaming options. I mean, my God.
Yeah, but what if they don't have anything? That way, everybody can watch it. You know.
Yeah, Aaron brings up a good point in here. He was like, the 80s and 90s Chicago had Child's Play and Candyman as backdrops. Pretty intense. Like what would Candyman be without Chicago? And even the first Child's Play.
Green, yeah.
And the first Child's Play. I mean, Chicago, just those old, like old, scary looking houses and shit. They look fantastic. But we got some big news that broke earlier today. And of course, Bayou Geeks, we probably all have seen Angel Heart. That's a 2-tissue movie for me, Angel Heart, because of Lisa Bonet.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was actually going to do that as a recommendation.
I was too. I
love Angel Heart.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
Another Robert De Niro.
So before we get to some other stuff, we wanted to bring this up. We were talking a couple weeks ago about the Halloween TV rights and how they were being put up through Miramax. And initially, the reports were earlier that A24 were landing them. And it looks like, Bisho, that's incorrect. Is that correct?
Confusing question, but I think I follow. Yes, it was incorrect. It was, I guess someone heard a rumor and tried to scoop it and put it up a little bit before it was official. So it was reported originally like this morning or this afternoon that A24 had picked it up. But then Fangoria, Bloody Disgusting, even Variety came out and said it's not true, that Halloween is headed to TV as Miramax secures the rights. And the interesting thing about this is, I believe Miramax still now has, or they have applied for the rights to the films too. So they're trying to create an entire cinematic universe, not unlike maybe Marvel or Star Wars, which is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, Shah, we all thought it would be A24, trying to divulge into the genre there, and it's not.
Yeah, this is a weird one for me, man, because in a way, I want them to stay away from these bigger titles. But they already have Friday, so I figured it would be maybe cool for both of those to be under the A24 banner. Maybe we could see like a Michael Myers and a Friday one done right. But I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about more Halloween, but I mean it's to be expected. I don't expect it to actually stop at Halloween ends, but hopefully, I don't know. Are you guys excited for more Halloween like in 2-3 years?
I don't think so. I know B-Show's kind of wants a purge there for a little bit, and I feel like, look, we're probably not getting anything for 2 or 3 years, guys. This is not happening tomorrow. But B-Show, a cinematic universe not unlike the Marvel universe, coalescing around the Haddonfield and Michael Myers mythology, if done right, could be something.
Yeah, and like I mentioned last week, I was really hoping A24 could pick it up because, like, what made the original Halloween special? It was moody. It was a little bit abstract because you weren't sure if he was supernatural, if he was human. It was shot differently. It was almost like an older auteur, like art house, not art house, but like it was a little bit different than the other fare. Yeah. And then they went the other direction when other movies came out and got more popular with violence. So I was kind of hoping A24 could do something with it. Miramax might be able to tie some more threads together because they've been involved with the franchise since like 96. So I'm not exactly happy about that because they haven't turned out a lot of great entries though.
No, they haven't.
And Bob Weinstein has sort of famously been very overbearing on stuff that he produces, throwing out just stupid ideas and stuff. There's a Rob Zombie interview with Howie Mandel about that came out a while ago. But someone mentioned after the show last week, I mean, just setting a show in Smith's Grove Sanitarium. We talked about that.
Oh yeah.
You could reel back the cult stuff and make it something more like there's like, I don't know, maybe elite people in the town that like know secrets or stuff that's going on and let certain things happen. Like you could take a lot of elements from the series that maybe didn't work and you could rework them and go in different directions and build out other characters and do more stuff without having it be hokey. So I was really hoping A24 would pick it up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of disappointed Miramax got it, but
a little bit.
Well,
yeah,
we'll see what
and
happens.
also I don't look. I mean, the Miramax is a brand that's been around for a long time. I don't know what I know that they've done TV before. Obviously, if I have to take a guess, I'm gonna say they're not gonna make it supernatural. I think they're gonna make it evil. Like you know what I mean, Shah? Like it's not going to be like, oh, he's a demon. Like, there's going to be a human element to it. Maybe the cult thing, which I'm not really excited about, or maybe there's people that are helping this go along. You know what I mean? Like that want him to kill people. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just happy Blumhouse didn't get it.
Yeah, that's key. That's key today. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into Blumhouse later.
Oh, we're gonna go there very soon. Yeah, we're going there.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over them taking over every single property.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with everything that's cool, right? I mean, wrestling, when it was just WWE doing it, everybody hated it. And I feel like that's what Blumhouse is getting to, where they're owning everything. And then we just have A24 in this little corner, which is like ECW. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's really no competition. Like, nobody else is doing anything. Everybody's just giving them the properties and collaborating with them. So,
well, I mean, look, we don't know. Look, it's very early. I don't think we're already a little hungover from like B Show's brought up and I brought up and Shah's brought up. We're not in a rush. I would say 2025 probably, honestly, is the earliest you'll see something. And I think that even that B Show, I think I'm off. I'm going to say maybe 2026.
I think the longer the better. I mean, I know Halloween is still hot. I know the last two sequels were pretty divisive for the fan base, but you know how they are with money because like Scream is still a big franchise. Saw just had a big release.
Back to back. Year to year.
Yeah. So they're not going to not sniff that money out. And I just read that Mark Helwig is executive vice president of development and production at Miramax. He was previously vice president at NBC Universal International. It said that the 2019 developed a feature reboot of Mike Mignola's Hellboy for Lionsgate. Was that any good? The reboot of
it was
Hellboy?
an abject failure. I liked it, and that had the dude from Stranger Things playing the character, but it bombed like with no mercy. Like it was, Parker Posey was the villain. It was R-rated. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I don't understand why it failed. They did kind of a very different version of everything. Hellboy's very cult popular with people. People really like Hellboy as a character. Let's see what happens. We've probably got about 3 years, and we don't know what network's getting this, guys. We don't know if this is going to be on regular TV versus streaming on, you know what I'm saying, Shah? Is this going to go to Paramount Plus? Are they going to sell it? Like, Miramax can sell it to anybody.
Yeah, we have no idea. The only thing that scares me right off the bat is them calling it a cinematic universe, because I'm just like, oh, dude, those buzzwords I associated with like Marvel and just oversaturation. So I'm assuming they're going to do 55 movies and 17 TV series that tie into the movies, and it just becomes it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, but we don't know what that looks like for a property like this. Is it going to be a version of him as a child and then a modern day version, like separate universe? Like, we just don't fucking know. But it was not A24. That was a rumor that was out most of the day. So we wanted to clarify that since we were covering it. Now, look, we got a big conversation we're going to have here because both myself and Shaheen over the weekend went and saw The Exorcist. Now, last week, as you remember, we were having a very involved conversation about how terrible it was doing with reviews. But from a box office, there was no box office. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, B Show, right now it's in the 45 million range before the weekend coming up. It didn't.
That's the last number I saw. Let me check it out.
Yeah, it was a $30 million film, and it did 45 million. They don't consider it a giant hit. They don't consider it a bomb. But the real thing was how polarizing it was to people, the story. And for that, I'm going to throw this to Shah. Shah, you saw it. Your feelings on the David Gordon Green polarizing, controversial, if I will, The Exorcist. Believers.
Well, I think it's really important to mention that they paid $400 million just to get the property in, because that's a key. You know, if they only spend $30 million to make it, sure, it's not terrible, because it'll probably make like what, 70 by the end, or even maybe 100. Who the fuck knows? You know?
Yeah.
But to spend 400, that means that they have plans for this for the future. They're gonna make a lot of these. This is not. I mean, obviously they're doing the trilogy. I just have a feeling they're going to make TV series out of this just to make that money back, you know? Because they're going to have to almost make they're going to have to make like $1 billion to really consider this a success.
Yeah, long term.
Yeah, long term. That's what I mean.
They're never going to come close to making.
Right, but that means that they're going to have to make so much of this to meet that, to make that money back. Because
somebody's going to have to put their wife on the corner and get some of this money back, Bisho.
There's no other alternative. I mean, even if you make 2 more movies, what happens is as a historical reboot like this does really well with the first movie, and the other 2 peter off. It's happened with Halloween, with Texas Chainsaw. I think it even happened with
Fridays.
Yeah.
Well, Fridays
so, like,
actually was a little different. They actually did better, but as they progressed.
No, I mean like the newer ones, the reboots. There was another one I was thinking of too that I can't think of now. But Believer was tracking to pull down 30 million to 35, but the number slipped to 26.5 domestically. And then overseas, it only opened 17.6.
Oh, God, that's terrible. That's porno movies do, but Vivid Video did better than that in theaters.
This might be a worse deal than Disney buying Lucasfilm for like $5 billion.
Probably, yeah. But right now, I want to ask Shah about the film itself.
Keep in mind, Insidious did 100 million, and the Nun is doing so well. I mean, this is pretty bad, dude. This is the fucking Exorcist.
Yeah, they didn't pay 400 million for the Insidious franchise or the.
But that shows you, though, in 2023 with social media and word of mouth, you can really do some fucking damage.
Bad reviews. It was the bad reviews, people. Like
you can really deteriorate people from going to this. Yeah,
they killed it. Bad reviews killed this movie. Chuck said he saw it less than 20 people in the theater. Chuck, I'll do you one better. I saw it Monday afternoon. I was the lone person in a giant theater, but it was a Monday afternoon. But that was Columbus Day. A lot of people were off. So, Shah, I want to talk a little bit about the film. And then, Chris Matthews, we will answer that Peacock question.
So, overall, my thoughts when I went into it, I thought it was shot well. It looked like it was a little too clean. I thought it should have been more grimy. I overall didn't hate it as much as I thought I would, but I certainly did not fucking like it. I did not like it. I think it had a lot of potential. They tried to do way too much, which, we'll keep it spoiler free, but we'll give out as much as they showed in the trailer. I mean, the trailer showed that there's 2 girls.
Halloween. Yeah, people will.
Right. I hated the fact that they involved 2 families. I thought it was overdoing it. There's 17 characters that I have to get to know now. There's this nurse, and we're bringing back the original mom from The Exorcist, and it's just too much. If it was just one family, I would have liked that. It started out with, the Haitian tie-in, which I liked a lot.
I like that.
Yeah, I thought that was dope because that kind of paid homage to the original. The original started out in Iraq.
Yeah, and it looked good. The cinematography shot and all that stuff looked very good.
Yeah. So that's when I had hope. Like the first half of the movie, I was like, oh, this might not nearly be as bad as people are saying.
Right. Now, Shah, I do want to ask you a question without spoiling anything. Did you find that the first that isn't it ironic that the Exorcist stuff is the thing that most people have a problem with, and the buildup most people kind of liked, from what I could tell. They liked, like even my brother said, I love the first half of it. Like, and that's what I was thinking too. Like, I love the first half of it. Don't you think that's strange that we like the non-exorcism stuff in the Exorcist?
You know what? I've actually never thought of it that way, but that's a great point, because usually most companies have a hard time with the buildup and the gore, and the payoff is like whatever. Everybody can do that, right? Yeah. Getting people invested in the story is kind of the hard part.
It was,
but it
was easy though, because it was done well.
Yeah. It was just very predictable. You know what I mean? They gave away everything in the trailer, essentially. Like, you don't really get much else. Yeah. Everything is in the trailer. Everything that's cool is in the trailer. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you a question? Because my brother Mike brought this up. Obviously, he's not in the chat, but he said he had a problem with a lot of the acting.
I thought the girls did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, my brother, unlike the girls and the main dad, he thought were the best. But he said he thought some of the acting was a little shitty. In particular, the other girl's family acting seemed.
I agree. When he was like, there's a scene, and this is not giving anything away, but when they go missing, there's a scene in the hospital where, the one that Mike is referencing, that family starts flipping out in the hospital, and the dad is kicking over trash cans, and it just looks very like it looks like he's in like theater school. Like it doesn't come off genuine to me. If you watch that back, I was looking at it like cringing, like, dude, this guy's kid is missing in the woods, and this is how he read this. I can tell this. Do another tape.
Very good. What did you like? The nurse? The nurse is great. Ann Dowd's a great actress. She's very good.
Yeah, but then that's what I mean. They brought back like the mom, and the nurse is another character that you got to focus. It was just too many directions. Yeah, like the first Exorcist was so simple. It's a mom and a daughter, 2 priests. That's it. This one, there's 75 people. I don't want to know 75 people in an Exorcist movie. Just give me one demonic girl that's possessed with a single mom, very similar to the original, and do another twist. And I'd be cool with that. But
what did you think of the exorcism itself? I thought it was very underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, the original Exorcist doesn't have much gore, but it's a gross movie. Like, it's gross.
Right, but that Exorcist, the exorcism itself in the original Exorcist, we can all agree, feels really intense. Like,
right,
it's
right.
intense.
And because a lot of it was practical effects, like, when the bed is, when the bed is shaking, like, she probably is a little scared. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's real. This is all green screen, and you can tell this is all green screen. I hated the fact that they toned down the vulgarity of the movie.
Thank you. I wanted to bring that up with
the original
show and anybody else. Yeah.
The original disturbed people because you had Linda Blair as a child saying your mother is going to suck cocks in hell.
Yeah.
That's why people were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is nothing like that. All they say is like, God played a trick on you. I'll seal you in hell. Like,
it was very Bisho. It was very Satan. Satan went politically correct with his Satan.
So
like he brings up a couple of fucked up things, but nothing that if you possessed 2 prepubescent girls that you would expect. Like it's like I was waiting for something. I'm not gonna lie, and I think everyone would say this. One of the shocking things in The Exorcist is the sexuality of her, or the lack of like where she's stabbing herself in her fucking twat and peeing on the ground and all this stuff and like gross. Saying like suck my pussy, like she sticks her face in the blood. Like it's so gross and inappropriate. And now you have this modern version and she says a couple of mean things. I think she misgenders one of them. I don't know. Like it's just like there's like she's in church and they tease that one of them might be doing something inappropriate. Shah, did you catch that?
Yeah, I just
subtle.
I mean, I saw that.
But that was that was very not like
right. Oh. But The Exorcist was like in your face, dude. It just you felt there was something about that movie that they captured.
I'm not gonna lie, and listen, I'm not giving the farm away. I expected one of them to say some racist shit because like that's like evil, right? Like one of them was gonna say like some racist shit. Or something like that. No, but you know what I'm saying, Shah? Like, or something sexual. Like, like I actually thought there was an innuendo in there with one of the families, with the other dad.
Fucking Reagan comes back, starts burning like BLM shirts and shit.
No, but like, but again, it's evil. You're saying evil, hurtful things to make people uncomfortable. You know, like Bisho, like nothing. Like in The Exorcist, she tells somebody who's gonna die and going out of space that you're gonna die up there, and he dies in outer space. She pees on a carpet in front of a house full of people. She sticks a crucifix in her vagina and starts stabbing herself and then sticks her mother's face in it.
Yeah,
lick me. Yeah, lick me. This is 1973.
This is nothing like that. That's what I mean. This is not the
1973.
Well, I did hear.
She tells another guy, "Your mother's sucking cock in hell." This other version, here it is, 2023. It's a it's a multicultural cast with multiple religions involved. By the way, never explained really. And the meanest thing she says is God played a trick on you. Like, like, you know what I'm saying, Bisha? I know you haven't seen it, but you can get the sense that it's missing the evil. It's missing that shock. There was no shock to this. It wasn't scary.
That's what I heard. I heard it was a bull with no balls. And I also heard, correct me if I'm wrong, or if this is just internet idiots, that when they asked Reagan's mom why she wasn't in the first exorcism with the priest, she said the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Like, really? That was why?
No, it wasn't the fact that these men died for your child and you're not a priest, and that's why you didn't do that. She's an actress. She was a remember that shot? Like she was like, well, if you ask me, the patriarchy. It's like, bitch, you're not you're not a priest.
Well, it's a huge smack to the face of the original movie. It's like, yo, 2 priests died for your kid. Like, this is not how you follow up the Exorcist movie. Yo, also funny because they interviewed I forget her name. What's her name? The mom.
Ellen Burstyn, famous. I mean, famous woman. My God.
They interviewed her and she said she never wanted to do the movies, right? For years they had asked her, she didn't want to do the movies.
That's right.
And she said the only reason she did it was because she wanted to be left alone. So she threw out such an outrageous number that she thought they would just leave her alone, and they doubled that and gave it to her.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to be honest with you, Shah. I don't.
There's no passion, is what I'm saying. It's money. No passion. No, she didn't. Waste of money. She didn't.
Waste of money.
Like, it's cool for a cameo.
I thought the main girl, dad, and Dowd, and the 2 kids phenomenal. I would have liked the priest to be fleshed out. I don't understand why. I don't remember his name. I don't know the pastor's name.
Dude, that was another thing. You just got me started. The fucking priest. Are you kidding me? Yo, the priest in the original was a huge part of the story.
Father Karras, my God.
This priest is like a 19-year-old. Like, what? I'm like, yo.
He's very beta, V-show. He's like a beta priest.
Yeah, oh my God. You're making me hate it more now that I'm thinking about it, actually.
Listen, I didn't hate it as much as probably I thought I was going to do. My brother Mike and I had a good conversation about this. The script was very weak. It was a weak, safe script. I feel like this could have been PG-13. I don't know about you, Shah. Yeah, and I would have liked, if you're going to do a devil incarnate movie, the devil is the most supreme evil in every stratosphere. This felt like a nasty kid, maybe that was high on something. This didn't feel like evil to me.
I mean,
it just was a disappointment.
I mean, think about it. If they
didn't hate it, but it was disappointment.
One of the biggest disappointments for me was the priest. Like, if you fail that, you automatically fail the movie for me. You failed the exorcism, you failed the priest. Too many characters. Like, this had a lot of potential, man. All they had to do was eliminate half of this fucking cast that they had for no reason. They didn't need the Haitian girl. They didn't need that.
I still don't understand. Yeah, it wasn't very fleshed out. Fleshed out.
Also,
Chuck brings up a great point. By the way, the father's friend, the boxing instructor, faith healer guy, just walks into the house. What was his name? What is his relationship with this man who's clearly about 20 years older than him? How do they know each other? Why are they friends? What is their relationship? What is his religion? Demon? I don't even understand what his religion is.
Who is the demon? The original one, all we knew was Pazuzu. Every 2 seconds was mentioned Pazuzu. You got to know Pazuzu. You saw the statue, the face showed up. You were like, oh, fuck, I'm invested in this now. Pazuzu's terrifying. Who the fuck was the demon? I don't know who the demon was. Yeah. Nobody does.
Yeah. Shah, when you said that, I started thinking of Seinfeld talking about it. Like, who is this demon? Why do I not know the demon?
Exactly.
Where is his face? Why is the demon and 2 girls? Is it 2 girls? One demon?
Imagine you've seen the movie. Be sure I obviously haven't. But just imagine.
Ain't watching it now.
Yeah, just imagine if they would have eliminated the Haitian girl and just focused on the girl, because the other girl was actually dressed like Reagan. Like, she had
she looked like her too.
Like, yeah, she kind of looked like her. Like, she looked cool with the upside down cross. Like, I was like, yo, this looks
good job. Good job, that kid. Both of them were great.
If they would have just taken the Haitian part out, they try to do too much, man. Just keep it the same as it was.
They 2020'd it, and then
I like the woods thing, the unknown. That's a new twist on it. Dope, cool. Let me know who the fuck the demon is. Eliminate one of these families and be more vulgar, and it would have been a good movie. I would have been like, yo, they pulled it off. It's fine.
Also, I want to say this too. I feel that they got possessed like almost from like a fucking Parker Brothers game. That was a very easy possession. It should be harder to possess people. You know what I mean? It should be. It should be. I didn't feel like, it was like B-Show. They were easily possessed. Like, they were possessed in a very ABC After School special way.
Oh, man.
And by the way, they also had this trope where the 2 girls are friends. One's black, one's white, but the parents don't know they're friends because, this is the 1930s and, this is illegal, B-Show. Like, we're not allowed to do that.
I was going to say, what is this? All in the Family meets fucking... anyway, that's...
Meanwhile, they're both friends with another black girl who is like, sets up the fact that they run away. Did you catch that, show? Like, it's like, oh, my daughter's not friends with your daughter. It's like, yeah, but they're friends with the other black. Like, it was just very much like we want to be like inclusive. It wasn't over the top like that. I don't want to misportray the film. It's not really like that. But things are just not explained very well. Relationships of people aren't explained. Like, the father, like, just never remarried or never banged another person. He's just into his kid. The other family, we never really see their dynamic with their other children. Like, it's just very odd, right, Shah? Like, choices odd.
Yeah. Well, do you think they added the black girl just to be more inclusive?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying, though. It's not necessary, man. People are not that sensitive. Like, I don't think any black person that watched this movie was going to be like, oh, there's not a black version of Reagan. What the fuck? No one is going to care. Why do you overcomplicate things and give 2 different stories in one movie? I don't know, man.
And they also super friended B-Show the Exorcism and involved multiple religions because Ann Dowd, who was the nurse, I don't want to talk too much about it, but Ellen Bernstein's character basically says, well, it's not just Christianity. The devil exists in virtually every form of religion. Okay, that's kind of true. That's kind of true.
Another thing, again, this is a theme in the fucking movie. Doing too much. They too many characters, too many religions. There's 17 exorcisms going on under 17 different religions. Like,
we had a multicultural exorcism. That's what
it was fucking the Captain Planet. I kept thinking, bam, 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 crucifix, Buddha, monk.
Yeah. By the way, they really did, B-Show. It was multicultural exorcisms. It was like, it wasn't just the classic. Like, they didn't want to give the Catholic Church props too much because they knew they had to be the bad guy in some way. So they had to incorporate different sects of Christianity, a pastor, a faith healer, a hoodoo. I don't even know, was that hoodoo or voodoo? I've never really explained. Like, if it's Haitian, I imagine it's hoodoo. But like, this is not, the words aren't said. And of course, somebody used to be a nun. And like Ellen Bernstein's an expert now, because she spent 50 years, come back. We never really got to see her get chops. And by the way, very ineffective as a character shot. She
contributed nothing.
Contributed nothing except a name. Yeah. And I'm sure she got paid a gajillion dollars and is laughing in her adult diapers right now. But there were certain things I like. I like the kids. I love Ann Dowd. I'm a big fan of Ann Dowd as an actress. I think she's tremendous. She plays Aunt Lydia in The Handmaid's Tales, but I know her from a very, very independent movie I've talked about quite a bit, where she played the woman who stripped the girl at the McDonald's. Compliance.
Oh shit!
Banger movie. The main dad is actually a Tony Award-winning actor from Hamilton. He's very good, but I don't know. The other dad was terrible. The other mom was terrible. I just think it could have been better. Now, I just want to tie this in. Apparently, David Gordon Green is dismissed from the future Exorcist movies. B-Show, is that true?
Let me see if I can find the article. But yeah, I read that a few days ago. While I search for that, the one thing about the priest that pisses me off is if you think about how integral and how important that relationship was. You had Max von Sydow goes in there as the old priest, super devout, super,
and Father Karras.
Dogmatic. But then you have Father Karras, who's younger and kind of in a bit of a questioning his faith, and he's smoking cigarettes, and he's like boxing at the gym.
Missing his crazy ass mama.
Yeah, and it's like you have that struggle, and then much like the hero's journey, Max von Sydow's character gets killed or put out of the way, and then he's forced to cross that dramatic threshold into that world that he wasn't ready for, and has to do it and sacrifices himself for this kid. So for them to completely be like, oh, it's the patriarchy, like what? Like, no, that was such an important part of that movie.
I said this to my brother. I don't think the directing failed this movie. The writing did. But whoever wrote this film with David Gordon Green, I will never watch anything they do again. I will never, ever.
I would be so happy if he's dismissed from this. That guy sucks, man. I'm sorry. Like, that guy is... sucks. He's the most hated man in horror right now, man. Like, he's literally just destroying property after property. Oh, this is the guy? Oh, of course you have a face like that.
He's got a David Lynch haircut, Shah.
Of course you got a face like that. Why wouldn't you?
Very punchable. Look, we got a couple of things we want to get to before Patreon, but I will say this. If he wrote it or co-wrote it, I'll never watch anything. Anyone who wrote this should be punched in the face. You have to explain relationships. There has to be a reason for things. You don't just do things because why? Because
explain we didn't want the demon. That's the key.
I still don't know dick about the demon. There's gonna be two more. Allegedly, they're all going to streaming. They're not going to go to theaters. But I feel like this could have been great. Shah, do you think it could have been great? I think it could have been great.
I mean, honestly, yeah. If they just took out one of the families, less characters, more violence,
some vulgarity to it to really stress. I think the lack of vulgarity made it less scary. Like, sometimes vulgarity in a movie show, like the uncomfortableness is frightening to people. Like, you know what I mean? If they started saying some really inappropriate shit to their parents while being, consumed by demons, people would be talking about that shit. It might be like a viral thing. It's like, one of the girls said, touch me, daddy. And it was so gross. I was grossed out. I was maybe so uncomfortable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to stress how pivotal this is and how fucking dangerous this is. And there was none of that to this movie.
It's tawdry. It's gross. And
thank you. Yeah.
Because like we've seen like killers, we've seen possessions, we've seen alien, we've seen everything. And to go that, like, just to touch on that, like, gross, like, very personal type of nasty, like, to cross that boundary could have been very effective, especially today when there's a lot of safe movies made that won't go that way.
Oh, this
I'm
was
not
safe.
I'm not saying be an edgelord and say shit just to be fucking,
No,
edgelord.
Yeah.
But I agree 100% with what you're saying. It's like, especially in a situation right now where people are afraid to cross lines, that's easily a line you can cross. And yes, some people may say, "Oh, I remembered when I was a kid that happened to me. That's terrible." But the majority of people watching, it is just gross. And sometimes art is about being offensive. I think Shah said that before.
Yeah.
So you're always going to risk offending someone, and some of the best art offends people.
I'm going to ask you guys this honestly, because I really want to try to move on. If this was a foreign director, I'm talking about, like, you know what I'm talking about, Shah. If this was not an American director, do you think they would have went places that maybe they would have went there? They would have went the uncomfortable route?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, if it was an Asian director, I'm sure they would have
Or
tried
a French director, like, honestly.
Oh, yeah, French would have gone wild.
Oh.
Yo, one last thing I want to mention on this. This was like really like Blumhouse's like opportunity to win back horror, like the faith of horror fans. Because, like, you know, they dropped the ball with Halloween. That left a bad taste in people's mouths. And ever since then, they haven't really done much that's like great. They could have came back by just pushing the line a little bit and not trying to cater to everything. Like, I didn't understand why people were saying this is, you know, woke assist and all that shit. But they are trying to. Like, it's you don't need to do this in every movie. Man. This is from a person of color. Like, I don't need this. I don't need representation, bro. I don't need a Muslim priest in the fucking Exorcist movie. I don't need that. Just keep it simple, man. We don't need that.
Keep it simple,
you know?
Stupid, right? Keep it simple, stupid.
Doing too much, man.
B-Show, you need to see it, though. Honestly, you have to see it. I have to get your vibe on this. Like, I have to hear you talk about this movie. I have to.
Okay. I'll take one for the team. Fall on the cross and the Ankh and the fucking Super Friends Captain Planet rings.
B-Show, there was no crosses in the movie. They said crosses were offensive. They just held up like a heart, and that's what it was. And then the heart would break. No, I'm just kidding.
Like the Care Bears, it would just shoot out of the chest at the demon.
Yeah, that's what it should have been. Shot should have been a heart, like a Care Bear heart. And then when they,
even better.
But there's a couple of the movies we want to get to. Whatchamacallit. One thing that was announced was Frankenstein. Oh my God, Shah, do you have this? I guess it's Guillermo del Toro. Is that who's directing the new Frankenstein?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, do we have the cast? Because this looks like this is going to win probably every award and hasn't even been written yet.
The only ones I see so far are Andrew Garfield as the creature, Mia Goth as the actress, and Oscar Isaac as the scientist. Now, when it says Frankenstein, is that going to be Victor Henry Frankenstein, or is that actually
they also just cast two-time Academy Award winner. What's his face? Yeah, this is
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz. Yeah.
That's going to be insane, dude. This is going to be.
We don't know who's playing who. This has not been determined, I don't think.
Well, he's probably going to be Dr. Frankenstein.
I assume so.
Yeah.
So does this mean that Oscar Isaacs possibly is the monster?
Probably. He looks like, y'all can see his dead eyes. He has like those creepy, like lazy,
I love this
dead-looking eyes. Oh, I can see it already, dude. I can see where he's going with this shit.
Oscar Isaac says the scientist.
The scientist. So Garfield's gonna be the fucking
No, I need Isaac as the fucking.
Wow. I don't know, but there's no way this is sucking. I no chance, Shah. No chance.
No, I'm super excited for dude. And we have Nosferatu coming out with Robert Eggers doing that.
Robert Eggers, yeah.
There's a lot of dope shit coming out next year.
Now I assume Mia Goth might be set up to play the Bride of Frankenstein.
Right, yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yo, this is good.
What are you thinking of this?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
This is just like a what's it called, fantasy casting.
It is, man. Like, honestly, my wife bought me the book, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, for Christmas. I haven't read it since high school. Obviously, I name dropped the Kenneth Branagh one earlier in the show. Frankenstein to me is, I don't know if it's just the big guy, but like I've always loved whatever iteration of Frankenstein. And seeing a guy like Guillermo del Toro helm this thing and bringing in Mia Goth and Oscar Isaacs and holy shit, man, I'm excited for this.
Shah, how great would this be if this was black and white?
Well, I mean, if it's not, I think when they release it, they're gonna probably give a black and white version also.
Yeah, Guillermo don't give a fuck. He'll do whatever he wants to do. He's like a royalty Hollywood guy at this point.
Yo, can you Google Del Toro's house you'll see a gigantic Frankenstein head. It's the centerpiece of his house. Yeah, so he's a huge fan. He's not gonna fuck this up, dude.
Yeah. He's an unbelievable guy because he's an OG horror guy, but he also is like sci-fi and he's got some comic vibe and he's, you know what I mean? Like he's a classics guy. Oh my God, B-Show.
You're telling me this guy's gonna drop the ball?
He was born to do this.
Oh, look at that too.
This is in his house?
Yeah, it's his house.
This is his he lives in Spain, right? Is he Spanish?
I think so, yeah.
He's Mexican.
Oh, he's Mexican. I'm sorry. Look, he's incredible. He's the man, dude. This guy's great. This dude's phenomenal. Hollywood loves this guy too.
In a way, he's almost like the Kevin Smith of horror movies because he's an old school fan. He's a good steward, except he's not kind of douchey now.
Yeah. He's like the master's degree Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is like a GED. Look at what he has in his house.
Oh my God.
Oh, Shah. I wonder if it's going to be shot for shot. Honestly, he's that dude, man. He is that dude.
I'm excited for this and Nosferatu, dude. These two are going to be amazing.
Yeah, Eggers is going to make Nosferatu like a heavy-ass movie. Oh, Shah, this looks like your dream house in here.
My house is like a low-budget version of this.
Well, he's worth probably about $200 million.
Yeah.
And I'm probably off on
Is this that creature from Blade that goes after him in the sewers?
Probably, yeah, because that was he did one of the Blades. Yeah, he did the second one, which is pretty good.
I know the tagline or the description that came out said that the story is exploring what it is to be a monster and human, and that dynamic between the creature and his creator. The monstrous acts that humankind can commit, the nature of beauty, and what it is to be a monster. So,
wow. Well, this is exciting. I'm happy for all involved. We're all going to be keeping an eye on this. It's probably about 2 or 3 years out, but I'm sure those leaks will be exciting to cover. And of course, a couple of other things real quick. A24 announced that they were going to be moving on up into more commercial properties. We kind of touched on this a little bit in the past with their success, and we're going to talk a little bit about Patreon about one of their commercial properties. So you don't want to miss that. But Shah, just briefly, like not a surprise, right? I mean, the success of A24 always probably meant that they would do more commercial films.
Yeah, I mean, that's a given. Any business will have to do that if they're not, if they want to make money. Yeah. I don't have a problem with it just because I have so much faith in what they do. They haven't let me down yet. So I believe that they know their core audience likes these cult type of movies and art house films. Yeah. I think they'll do bigger properties, but I think it'll always have that A24 vibe. I think that'll always be a thing. And I think when you're thinking of bigger budget movies, man, they're also doing like Oscar nominated films with Minari and shit like that. Like it could be movies like
Everything
that.
Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Marcel the Shell.
Yeah, we're not talking about them doing like Superman. You know what I mean? Like
no, they're not going to be doing like a rom-com with Jennifer Aniston and John Hamm.
Right. Yeah. No. Right. They're going to keep it A24, but they also need to make more money to be able to fund these, niche films like fucking I don't know, man, like Midsommar, things like that.
So, probably. Yeah. B-Show, not a surprise.
I don't mind it.
I'm sorry, Shah. B-Show, not a surprise, right? I mean, this is probably inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, you can't if you're operating like a business, you have investors that are going to want more return. It's just the nature of the business. So one good thing that could come of it, though, is like George Lucas, he sold his rights to Star Wars because he didn't want to be a custodian for that anymore and the steward of the Star Wars franchise. He just wanted to make little $1 million experimental films to push the envelope and boundaries of filmmaking and do art like experimental stuff.
Yeah, and he did that. Like he did a personal story with the Fablemans, which is very good. If you guys never saw it, it's kind of a dry movie, but it's supposed to be like semi-autobiographical. So I'm sorry, that was Spielberg. My apologies, that was Spielberg.
But yeah, I don't even know the movies. I think Lucas directed some kind of car movie or some kind of car creator or something.
Yeah.
But it's like little stuff that he wouldn't get to do if he was all consumed with a giant franchise all the time. So it kind of sucks that some of that will lose attention because of the bigger properties that A24 is going to get. But if you're like Shah or you or anyone who likes this, like if you like to go and see the art house stuff too, and you have time and you have, a love and passion for that, you'll probably still get some of that from A24. And
honestly, guys, I think they'll just put some of that money into the art house stuff, right? So So the art house stuff will look better and better because they'll have commercial properties to build
That's
on.
what I'm saying. They'll be able to take more risks. They
Take
can
more
make
risks.
films.
Yeah.
Like In
Not that they ever
Fabric.
lose money. I mean, they haven't lost any money anytime soon.
You remember the movie In Fabric? Like, that's an art house comedy. Like, I don't know how many people are going to go to the theater to see that, but if they make a shit ton of money from a movie like Everywhere, Everything All at Once, they can fund a bunch of these other movies and take that risk. So I don't have a problem with it as long as it's going to the right properties and they stick to their core audience and at least make us happy.
Yeah, and of course, like they're not a little player anymore. They have to act like a big boy. Our last thing we're going to get to before we head over to Patreon is the announcement of Best Buy following suit with Target from last week. They will discontinue all displays of physical media. Kind of a bummer for a lot of people. I know Shah in particular, and a lot of my people like my brother and a lot of people that listen to the show. Going to the big box is where you would get some type of exclusive steelbook, on a certain day. But they announced that they will no longer be devoting any sort of revenue or floor space to physical media. Shah, not a surprise, right?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, this has been happening for years. It's been, getting smaller and smaller to the point where now it's like one tiny little, corner of an aisle that has a couple movies. But the thing that kind of surprised me is that Best Buy is taking it off online also. They're not going to sell it online. Like, that's the part that surprised me, because I was like,
that is a surprise. Yeah.
Why wouldn't they do that? Because they can just keep it in a warehouse and just ship it out. That's money. So, I mean, physical media is not dying. I think it's been very strong when it comes to these boutique labels and these, like, more like cult labels that are putting things like Arrow and Vinegar Syndrome. Like, those companies are making more profits than ever, they've said. So they're selling out left and right. So people are still buying this. I just think it's gonna go to online, and you're probably Amazon. Like, Amazon is still selling a shit ton of it.
Yeah.
But I'm always gonna miss, like, going out on Tuesdays, and because I like going to the store, seeing it.
I know you're somebody who goes. My brother Mike buys physical media. Occasionally, B Show buys physical media. It's again, not a surprise, right? B Show. This is another thing that kind of was inevitable.
Yeah, it's sad. The issue that I have with it is it gives more streaming services, and it gives companies, and I got a little bit, I know I work a corporate job, but I kind of got a little bit of rage against the machine in me. I don't like the idea of physical not being available in certain stores, widely released, because we're going to see more throttling of what's on streaming services, more editing, and stuff like that. And I don't like taking that ability and freedom to go and buy and watch an actual copy of something out of the hands of people that want to see it.
Yeah.
So it's sad. I mean, I went to Walmart the other day for something, and they had an entire wall of DVDs, and I was surprised because I've been hearing stuff like this for a while. But hopefully, and that's what I went back to the other day when I mentioned. I think I asked Shah, do you see a return for not widely released, but like boutique video rental stores coming back?
Right. Yeah, we
like
discussed this, I think, even on
Patreon. People buying up copies and doing that, because where else are people going to get physical copies unless they're buying them from Amazon or places like that?
Right.
Well, I think the thing that we got to keep in mind is Walmart is still very much invested in physical media, because they're putting out their own exclusives,
and they will continue to have exclusives with major studios. So
they've also cut deals with major studios to start distributing physical media themselves. So I'm thinking they're going to try to corner that market, because not to be stereotypical, but I feel like the people that still buy physical media are that Walmart DVD Walmart. Audience,
So, Walmart.
That's their target audience, But back to what Bisho was saying, just to wrap this up, that's why I collect physical media, because they censor so much. I don't know what films are going to look like in 10 years. I know I bought it 15 years ago, and it's going to be the same exact way it was released, And when you buy things on Amazon and this, that, and the third, it could disappear. It could be a glitch on the system. Everybody's data gets. I have a physical copy. You can't take this from me. It's mine. I paid for it. It's here. John, you bought Super Mario digitally.
I was just thinking of that when you said that.
If there's a glitch and it's gone, you don't have it anymore.
Top box, but for $20. But like what? Like
what is that? It's I like having the physical copy. I don't know, man. I own thousands of movies. I'm almost up to a 4,000 Blu-rays. So
wow. Wow, you could start renting them.
Yeah.
We're heading over to Patreon. We got an action-packed show for you. So again, go to patreon.com/Spitball Media. I said splash. Let's just get to our plugs real quick. We have Deathmatch Outlaws, the Drew Yari Experience, Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube, the Down on the Thundercast, and of course, Don Tony. Necromaniacs, I think they just put out a new episode today discussing Hammer films. You want to check that out. The Inhuman Experience podcast, and of course, the return of Ringsiders Wrestling is going to be coming back around Survivor Series. Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show in the Garden of Doom. And they also have the Old Guy Metalcast, funkbetty.com. Go to funkbetty.com. Treat yourself to some nice new threads at funkbetty.com today. MJW Games, and of course, Cherry Jesus on YouTube, and his album is coming out from his band Kaiser. You're going to want to be checking that out, of course. The Red River Podcast, that's our buddy Sam and his band Playing Dead. The Bio Geeks, that's our pal Fatty316. The High Marks Podcast and the Midnight Mass Creature Cast. And, of course, we have the Weekly Detour with Anthony Allison and Teddy. And the Guns and Geeks Podcast. Shah, do we have anything this week for Planet Monday?
I'm definitely going to do a stream about the whole Best Buy thing and kind of go into the in depth about that. So sometime this weekend, I'll probably stream on my channel and discuss Best Buy and everything else that's happening with that. So
yeah, great
subscribe.
topic to really flesh out and to spend some time on. B-Show, what's happened on the B-Show Brian channel?
Not a whole lot. I'm probably not going to honestly have a chance to do a whole lot of stuff until probably next year.
Okay.
So I might just, again, continue reposting stuff I did in the past, things that I think are decent ideas as they come up. So like with the Halloween stuff, I've got some stuff I've got stockpiled. So just go to bshowbrian.com, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
And of course, do that for Spitball Media. And hey, tell some friends. Let them know if there are people who like movies and like to join in the chat and join in the conversation. And we want to thank all you guys for contributing each and every week. And keep an eye out next week. At some point next week, I'm going to be recording my I Remember Halloween episode exclusively for Patreon. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Spitball Media.